Hmm. All right, so I'm trying to use this headphones qual- um, audio quality. So hi, anatomy students. The purpose of this video is to uh, help me out with a little reading support. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my book, and I'd like you to have your books out as well. Um, because I want to take you up through about chapter 15.6. Now, I assume that you've already read the chapters here. Um, if you haven't read the chapters, go to the chapters. Thank you. So, as we go into digital learning, we really need to use a textbook to the best possible extent. And the way you're going to do that is by paying attention to all those little extra boxes that are there beside the main informational text. So I'm talking about the blue boxes that say learning outcomes. Read them. And when you finish a section, go back and check. Can you do what they ask? The green boxes that are your practice questions. Um, Answer them. This would be a perfect thing to answer on the notebook page that you're going to set up for each major section of the digestive system. Because those practice questions will give you the opportunity to practice so that you can satisfy the learning outcomes. What I'm really trying to say here is take your time. Take your time. Read slowly if you need to. Reading is hard work to really read critically. And sometimes you just want to read on a comfy couch without a notebook, and that's cool. Maybe that'd be like the first time you read it. But if you do like a serious reading of a textbook, it's really good practice to have your pen and paper next to your textbook so you can take notes of things that you need that extra knowledge on right then and there. Um, and you may have taught it that good reading happens multiple times. So the first time you just need to get the main ideas. Second, third times you're adding in details. And students, when you make reading that daily habit, you're going to go so far. You're going to go so far. So, digestive system. Yeah, take note of the aids to understanding words. Some of them are kind of review. Um, okay, so the big thing that I want to hit on once again is the cross-cutting concept of structure and function. Um, all over the body, the digestive system is no less an example of structure and function. And to put things into a little perspective, on page 459, they stretch out the tube inside your body. They stretch out all the guts and measure them with the linear tape. And it says your alimentary canal is about 8 meters long. So to give you some perspective, I am 183 centimeters tall. So I'm just under 2 meters tall. And so imagine four and a half of me stacked foot to head, and that's how long the guts are. So that's pretty fun. Um, and now it is true, I think that men have a little bit longer of the small intestine than women, but it's negligible really, um, because they basically do the same jobs. And I might be wrong on that. But this tube is important because let's look at the four layers. We have the mucosa layer. Oh, there goes my wife. Try, yeah, you're on video.
Trying to be sneaky.
Uh, uh, you probably can't hear her, but that's Lauren. Um, that's Lauren. And she's a high school counselor. She's dealing with kids in Tracy, trying to help them through the thing. So we're trying to help you through the thing, guys. All right. So the mucus layer is the innermost layer, and it makes mucus. And a lot of mucus is going to be needed to pass that food smoothly from your mouth to your anus. Okay, so mucus aplenty. The submucosa is like the support layer for the mucus-producing cells. We've got blood vessels there, glands, nerves. The muscularis layer, muscle, I've got to move that food through the tube, so we need muscles. Um, and interestingly, it's a double layer, this muscle layer, because you have one layer that squeezes like this, and another layer that squeezes like this, and there is a pattern to move food in one direction. And then you got the serosa layer, and this is what attaches your guts, your alimentary canal, to um, to your other body structures, like your abdominal wall. Okay, so I already mentioned a little bit about how tubes wiggle or constrict muscles back and forth to move food down your alimentary canal. Um, you see how that works on page 461. Um, on page 460, if you're looking at that graphic and you're looking at the little finger things, the little divvy poking up, you see that this is where absorption of nutrients actually happens. And this will go in greater detail later in the chapter, but this is really cool because those finger projections increase surface area. And with greater surface area, there's more ability for nutrients to enter the epithelial cells, and you get nutrition from your food. So the name of the game with your digestive system is surface area. That's why our systems are so folded, it increases surface area. On page 460, if you look at the one of the villi, and you look inside of it, there's this green thing called a lacteal. This is for fats. This is for absorbing fats. When you are digesting fats, it's actually a pretty complicated process, but the fat globules that are digested are like big globules, and they can pass through the epithelial cells, but they're too big to get into your capillaries. They're too big to get into your vascular system. So they don't go into your blood. Instead, what happens is you get your fat absorption through your lymphatic system. And then your lymphatic system kind of rejoins your blood right here, and then you get your fats in your body tissues. Um, so that's where the gallbladder comes into play. And I'm on a tangent. I'm on one of my tangents. But anyway, that's for fats. We'll check back on it later. Teeth are fun. Little kids with their baby teeth and their growing teeth just freaking out on page 463. But it's important to realize that your mouth is part of your digestive system because that starts the alimentary canal. And there's a lot of physical digestion that happens with your chewing of food, but also the very, very first chemical digestions start happening in your mouth. The work of your salivary glands. You may have heard of salivary glands before. I skipped ahead to page 465, and we can see the locations of these salivary glands in our mouth, but we make an enzyme called amylase. And amylase is an enzyme, ACE, and the job of this enzyme is to digest amylose, which is a sugar. So amylase digests amylose. Well, what's amylose? Amylose is the type of polysaccharide that you find in grains. So bread, rice, corn. Chains, polysaccharide, many sugar chains are snipped and broken up by the amylase enzyme up here. So it gives a head start to your stomach and can help digestion right then and there. Okay, then we got the tube going from your, this is called your esophagus, from here down to your stomach. And I'm not too worried about this, but let's just realize that we have a little valve in our tube so that we don't swallow our food into our lungs. Pretty important. That's the name of it. Now, did I tell you I'm going to go through the stomach? Or I think the way I'm going to go through the stomach. Oh wait, you gotta listen to me. Okay, let's go through the stomach. Wait, how many minutes have I got to go at it on? 10 minutes. Okay, give me 3 more minutes. Okay. All right. So the stomach. We want to locate the stomach and explain its functions, describe its secretions, and describe how those secretions are regulated. So let's flip page 468. And once again, we're looking at the stomach walls, and there's a couple there's a diagram and a micrograph. And the diagram is prettier, but once again, we see the folding, the incredible folding that gives surface area to your digestive system. It's happening here. And it's necessary right now because your chief cells, and there's a whole bunch of cells working together to spit out your stomach acid. And not just your stomach acid, but those mucus cells, you're right there at the surface of the stomach to keep that acid from digesting your stomach. So if your mucus cells go down, then your stomach will eat a hole in itself. Um, Pepsin is an enzyme that digests proteins. And what's kind of interesting about the regulation of your stomach juices is that it's both hormonal and nervous system. So when I look at bread, and I love bread, I start prepping my stomach for digestion because I'm like, oh, there's food, I might eat it, and so my stomach gets ready and starts kind of priming and getting some juices going. And then when I have food in my stomach, now hormones regulate the increased production of gastric juices for digestion. So digestion is interesting in that it's hormonal and nervous system. So don't forget about those action potentials. Um, you know, I'm going to end it here. But my last common thought is, students, this is a perfect time for you to watch all of the crash course videos about human anatomy and physiology. The digestive system videos on it are really fun. And I'm going to stop right now and update my website to give you reference to those videos. So guys, see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Hope I'm helpful. Let me know what I can do to be more helpful. Bye.